Hi guys, good afternoon. Oh no, I think my Wi-Fi is spotty. Guys, I'm trying here. I want to share my video. Here we go. Hi guys, welcome. Just gonna share my video on my business pages. 1 second. Coming on, say hi. Ah, guys, my Wi-Fi is so slow right now. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, if you guys are coming on, say hi, say where you're from, especially if you have never been on one of my lives before. I love new people. I love meeting new people, like-minded people. Guys. Oh my gosh, my computer. I'm just hoping I don't get kicked off Wi-Fi. This is probably gonna have to be a case where I have to share my video after I'm done the video, which stinks. Pretty sure we're in a retrograde right now. Yeah. One more second, guys. Let me just try one more time. Guess not, guess not, guess not. All right, that's okay, because I'll just go live from my personal page. And I will share my business pages after. So if you have, ooh, what is up with the lighting? Hold on. The lighting is kind of funky, right? Oh my goodness, hold on. Is it because, like, what just happened? Oh, like this? Yes, no. Guys, I'm having the worst issue. How about if I do this? This is better. No, it's not. Let me think. Let me think here. Here we go. Can you guys see me? Is this terrible? How about this? You know what, guys? You know what I'm gonna do? And this is what I've wanted to do all day. Is I am going to pick this up, bring my journal and my notes, and broadcast from here. Yay! So much better. Okay, cool. Hold on. Perfect. Not really? Okay. Whoa, sorry. Guys, this is so hard. You see my unicorn? Unicorn slippers. Okay, guys. I think it's more important for the message. I know I've been, at least you can see me, right? I look like a dark blob before. So, I do want to get through this live because I think the message is always more important than whether the lighting is okay or whether I'm stuttering or, you know, whether my hair looks okay. So I think it's important to get this information across. And I pride myself on, you know, being a truthful person. So this live is very important to me. So I would love to get through it. And hopefully if you guys resonate, it'll be super helpful. So I'll go ahead and introduce myself first. My name is Justine Luzzi. I am a spiritual life coach. I help people help heal themselves, get spiritually aligned using intuition, and connect spiritually. Get connected spiritually. Oh, I thought I just saw something. And I'm also a big empathic supporter, and I also talk about spiritual awakenings a lot. So I do a lot underneath that umbrella, but I do a lot of things, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So hopefully you resonate. All right, so I wanted to talk about this thing that has been happening to me lately, and basically I'm calling it spiritual apathy, right? And I brought up the definition of apathy if you guys don't know what it means. It's basically a lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. And I had my spiritual awakening about 4.5 years ago. And ever since it's not been possible for me to disconnect from spirituality, mostly because it's my truth. And it's not a phase. It's not like horseback riding and then all of a sudden I don't like it anymore, or anything, right? Golfing, whatever it is. So it's not exactly a phase, but for some reason I'm experiencing a sense of apathy right now. I'm kicking and screaming when it comes time to meditating, which was not the case for the last 4.5 years. I'm finding myself, I did a live earlier this week about judgment, and, I find myself judging a lot, which hasn't been the case in the last 4.5 years. I feel very disconnected, and I'm a very connected person. And I'm highly intuitive. I get downloads, right? And I haven't gotten one in a really long time, right? And I haven't read cards in a while, and I just feel, all of these examples are just ways where I just feel completely disconnected. And I just meditated before, and meditated on it, and I'm really just trying to figure out what the issue is. And at the end of the day, I'm feeling all types of emotions, guilty, angry, annoyed, how could this be happening, disconnected is another one, and obviously these all fall under the negative, right? So, the only thing that I could really be doing right now is just going forward with this, right? Feeling the apathy, because apathy is another feeling, right? That's all it is. And you know me, and you know how I preach about feelings, why we have them for a reason. But their main function is to be, sorry, my computer went out. Their main function is to be felt and then released, acknowledged and released. And that's really the whole point. So we don't have to be afraid of our deep emotions or our deep pain, because it really is just an acknowledgement waiting to happen. And then once its purpose is fulfilled, then they will pass. So, and that's the point, right? The only way they'll pass is if we feel them, right? And so if you're in deep pain, sorry, newsflash, you're going to have to be able to feel that for it to pass. So, same thing goes with apathy, right? It's, a lot of people would probably say apathy is, hey, Melinda. A lot of people would probably say apathy is probably somewhere neutral, but really it falls under the negative because it's a lack, right? So that's a pretty obvious indicator that it's actually in the negative column. So, instead of beating yourself up or, just having a certain feeling of being disconnected, you can do these 3 things. And I've come up with these 3 things today, and I wanted to share them with you in case anybody is in this place where I haven't picked up a crystal in a week, and it's kind of scaring me since, I usually sleep with them. But I've given you enough examples of spiritual apathy. But I've come up with these 3 different things to do when you're experiencing something like this. So the first one is, guys, I usually talk about this all the time, have self-compassion, right? I was just beating myself up earlier this morning. I'm working on it throughout the day to just release it, to just accept where I am, and really, really, not make things worse by, bringing in the other negative emotions that, can come along with it. So I've been just really trying to forgive myself and really, really understand that this is temporary, as all emotions are, right, guys? Don't forget that. Everything's temporary except love, and it's important to really understand that. And just, bring on the self-love. Just take care of yourself. The guilt does absolutely nothing. I don't know if you're like me, but I feel guilt all of the time. I can actually do a Facebook Live about that because it's really interesting why some people do. Why they do more than other people, and it has to do with being empathic. But yeah, beating yourself up does absolutely nothing, guys. So please, go the other way. Choose the opposite. Have some self-compassion. So the second thing is realize the lesson, right? Everything that happens to us, the good, the bad, and usually we don't ask what the good, right? We only ask what the bad. Why is this happening to me? And instead of coming from a place of victim, we can ask ourselves, why is this happening to us in a positive way? And I mean that, and what I mean by that is asking ourselves, what is this trying to teach us? And I think that's super important, because once you can find the lesson, then you can learn, and then it will pass. And usually, I'll give you guys a hint. The lessons are very different for everybody, right? But I can tell you this, and this is what happens to me personally. A lot of times the lesson is a return to love. And I love that, because a lot of issues that people have, and it can go under the category of apathy, is that we are experiencing a separation from love. And I think that's what I'm going through right now, to be honest with you. I've been trying to figure out my lesson today. It doesn't happen overnight, doesn't happen in one day. It's something I'm working on, but I always say, be curious, question everything, find out the lessons so you can let this time pass, right? So that's number 2. Number 3, guys, I am a big proponent, and I'm laughing because everything I'm talking about is probably 20 times harder if you're empathic, and I get it. And I want to reiterate that I totally get it. And this last one is going to be super, super hard for people that are empathic, okay? But the third one is slowly get back into it. And I say slowly because I don't mean to force yourself into it, because especially as an empath, when you force something, it's going to get worse. I'm telling you that right now. And the act of forcing is very counterintuitive to how we feel. Because a lot of the time, especially if you're highly intuitive, things are more, or highly spiritual, there is a flow that we like to feel that feels good. So anything that's being forced can feel rebellious, and that could actually make things worse. So when I say slowly get back into it, I mean slowly. I have not meditated for a week. I was at some point, meditating up to 45 minutes each and every day. Last night I went to a Buddhism class locally, and I was able to meditate for 15 minutes before and then 15 minutes after. That's a huge deal for what my apathy is, where I am apathetically, if that's even a word. But you guys get what I mean. But that was an improvement. It might seem small, but it's the small things, guys. Nothing happens in a day. Nothing is going to happen overnight. And I think that's really, really important. And I think it circles back, right, to the first thing, which is having self-compassion for yourself. It's going to take a while to get yourself back to where you are, or where you were. So, for me, what helps me, how I was able to go to that Buddhism class last night is thinking about how I want to feel and journaling it out, thinking about that, visualizing how I want to feel. And when I feel very, very spiritually connected, I feel amazing. And I know that because I've experienced it. And there's no reason why we can't get back to it. And that's super, super important. So the first one was have I can't speak. Have self-compassion, recognize the lesson, figure out the lesson, and the third one was slowly get back into it. And, you know, if you just make these things conscious to you every single day, I guarantee you'll get back to the place that you want to go. So, yeah. Okay, cool. So I actually thought that this was super helpful. You know, I'm the first person to admit, totally agree, it's tough as an empath too. Some days I'm on point. Some days I feel like I've come completely undone, and it takes extra self-compassion to move forward. Totally. Like, it's almost like taking, you know, steps forward and then having to take steps backwards, and it's not fun. It's not fun, but it's life, and it's, there's a reason for it, and, you know, that second one is just super, super important. Just kind of figure out, you know, it might be your environment, it might be the universe telling you to change your environment, you know, you just never know. So I'm going to do my work. I hope you guys do your work. So hopefully, this was helpful. If you're experiencing some spiritual apathy, message me. Let's chat. I would love to talk about it. And I will be on next week. I know I keep pushing my live about star seeds. I know I keep like teasing you guys, but next week I'll definitely do it. For sure. Okay, cool. All right, guys. See you next week. Bye.